Hi lovely and darling viewers, it's Jen here at Check Her Joy, and this time I'm reviewing Two Boys Kissing by David Levithan. Actually, I listened to the audiobook, which was read by the author David Levithan. So this book follows 8 different teenage boys who are all gay and their experiences with what that means. It's also narrated by this Greek chorus of the ghosts of the men who died from the AIDS epidemic in the 80s and early 90s. Um, which is cool and interesting way to kind of tell the story. So the main plotline of this story is Craig and Harry, who used to be a couple but aren't anymore. They're still really good friends. And when their friend Tariq gets beat up for being gay, they decide to make a stand and to try to break the world record for the longest kiss. So they broadcast this on the internet so that nobody can question whether or not they actually did it. And the whole idea in their head is that they're making a stand, that being gay is okay and that it should be seen and visual and it should be totally normal to see two boys kissing, like it shouldn't be an issue. So within this story, we also meet Peter and Neil, who are an established couple. They've been going out for a while. We also get to see Ryan and Avery, who meet for the first time and like this new relationship. Avery is also interesting because he's transitioning from being a girl, and so that's kind of cool to see. Like his, not only is he worried about whether or not this boy is gonna like me, he's like, can this boy tell that I used to be a girl? Is he still gonna like me if he knows that? And then finally we have Cooper, who is off on his own and really closeted. He hasn't told anybody that he's gay except for these random encounters that he has on the internet through fake names and screen names. And so he does a lot of flirting online. But nobody in his real life knows that he's gay. Um, it's really interesting to see all of these different experiences. They're a diverse group of guys, not only through like what they're going through, but also racially. And we can see the different reactions that society and friends and family have to these boys. Some of them are accepted and they have friends and family who love them and support them, and no matter what. Then they have the ones who their families are maybe more reluctant or even just like denying it. So I think it's Neil's parents who kind of are choosing not to see it. Like he's hanging out with Peter all the time. That doesn't mean they're dating. We've never seen them kiss or anything. And then we have parents who just flat out reject it, like it's not okay to be gay, like you can't do this. Um, it also kind of explores how important it is to be accepted, um, not only for these boys, but also the chorus remembering what it meant to them to have their families by their sides. Some of their parents weren't okay at first, but then it changes when all of a sudden your son's dying. I enjoyed listening to this book because of the diversity of the stories that are going on in here, that it isn't just one person's story, and then we get glimpses of all these different lives, not only these 8 boys. The narrators are omniscient and they know what the family members actually think and why their motives are. Still have to deal with bullying, and the more attention these guys get, obviously there's also going to be more homophobic people standing up and crying out that this is wrong. Um, it's kind of a look at where we have been, where we are, and where we hope to be going with acceptance. I think it's an important read for the diversity factor, but it's also interesting and intriguing, and like you want to know what's going on with all these guys and how they're kind of hoping that they're all going to intersect. Also, like, is this one of the stories where everybody meets in the grand finale? I really liked this book. Basically, I don't know if I can explain too much more without talking about where their stories go and stuff and effectively spoiling the book. So I recommend Two Boys Kissing by David Levithan. I gave it 4 stars. 4 stars. And it's awesome. So go read it. Peace out. I love you guys and keep reading. Bye.